Shalom, giving all praises to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh, by Yashim, Yahweh Shah, by Yashim Wakaha Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops of New York and Connecticut, and also peace and many salutations to you, Akim, you Akwath, and peace and blessings to you, brothers, the elder brothers, that's head of these camps, that's being beautiful examples unto us. And also to you brothers out there that are listening, Shalom, you know what I'm saying? Well, GMS Encouragement 144 is no more. They shut me down for something that was old too, a camp that was quite a while ago. This page has been on attack for quite a while, and as just happened, I've been speaking to a lot of brothers in various camps, about the work, and it seems that a lot of brothers videos are getting shut down. Well, I should say, striked. Their videos are getting striked, and also, pages, getting terminated too. And this is why the apostles have said, to make a page that's dedicated to Odyssey, because they have already seen that YouTube is about to censor this word. And it made me think to myself that the famine of the word is nigh. There's been an attack on not only various brothers' epistles, which aka videos, but also the word itself. The brother Taz of my camp, Taz of my, I affectionately call him Taz, but his name is Taz of my. Did a sit down. He did it today, actually, going into how they're coming out with an AI Bible. You have more people out there that is looking for AI as guidance, spiritual guidance versus the actual scriptures. With GDP chat, another software, this is where people are going to for spiritual guidance versus the actual scriptures. And certainly they're not listening to us, the true prophets of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And also, we have some states that are prohibiting certain school libraries from having the word, because they say it's discriminates against the alphabet people, and also there's a push for the alphabet accommodation, which is totally against the scriptures. And also they're actually coming out with a Mo Bible, which is an oxymoron, also a vegan Bible. So all these things is attacking the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? And this is an indicator that there's going to be a famine of the word. The scriptures are clearly against the way in which this world is being operated with under. And so, that threat has to be eliminated for them to set up the new world order. So in order for them to set up that NWO, they have to get rid of people like us who have, ideas contrary to the status quo. There's actually I don't want to call it a cliche, but a definition of tolerance. Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a definition. There's a way in which they define tolerance, under this new banner of tolerance, and it's called the paradox of tolerance. I like to go in this often, and the paradox of tolerance states that in order for you to be tolerant, you have to be intolerant to intolerance, meaning anybody who doesn't tolerate, certain group of people, certain sexual lifestyles, certain political views, they are seen as, you know, on the there are outliners to what is needed for to be, tolerant. You know what I'm saying? For a society to be tolerant, so they have to be eliminated. This is us, Akyam. What we are saying is a threat to, what they're trying to propagate, which is neo socialism. I need everybody to be as one, which is really the Tower of Babel concept. So everybody becomes one. There is no right. There is no wrong. There's only, what that person deems as right and wrong. Everybody's self-autonomous. It's really living after the flesh. For us, we proclaim that there is a divine order. A man and woman should be together, not male on male, female, female. You don't pick your sex. Kids certainly shouldn't have the authority to pick their own sex. Neither should they have authority over the parents. Okay, all these is that mindset is contrary to the thought process of the world, and so they have to systematically eliminate us, and they're doing it under soft totalitarianism. You know what I'm saying? People are voting themselves into uh, a totalitarian state, and they don't even realize it. Under the banner of progressivism, which is very, very interesting, man, very systematic. So this guy, Esau Edom, has used these great swollen words as a way to uh, control the people, and the people don't even realize it. Okay, so let's get to some scriptures. Genesis 11:1, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, and that speech for edification was the Hebrew tongue. Okay, I'm saying? The Lashua and Kadash. I'm saying? Uh, so, even when you look at the ancient Phoenician alphabet, it's synonymous with the Paleo Hebrew. Why is that? Because, everybody spoke that same language. Okay, and do your research. People like to say what we're saying is so crazy and far-fetched, but I mean, if you look up Paleo Hebrew, which is Paleo in Hebrew, it's really available. Do your research on what we proclaim, especially if you're a Hebrew Israelite. It's something you should know for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even, just brief research. I'm not saying that I'm a expert at the Hebrew. Of course not. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely work on that, brush up on that. But it's something that, we were taught, and something that we emphasized in earlier years, what I'm saying, of the Great Awakening. So it's very important to know. Okay, very important to know um, for your faith. Because people like to make the argument that the Most High didn't give us a name in the latter days, and that's ridiculous. Verse 2, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had a brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. So they built the Tower of Babel. You know what I'm saying? And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. Let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. So they all came together, and they all was going to collab to build a tower so they could draw there, and they all could mix and mingle together. This is something that the Most High didn't want to occur. Why is that? Because the Most High had it to where he had a group of people that he bestowed the knowledge onto, that he wanted them to live abiding in the world a certain way. And these people were to rule or govern the other people. Okay? This is why when you read down, it says, the angel said, look, we got to scare these people, lest their imaginations take hold of them. They're not able to uh, basically stop themselves from doing anything, from any and everything they imagine to do. Okay? Which was wickedness. Verse 4. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest means for fear of. So for fear of we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower which the children of man builded. And Yahweh said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and they begin to do, and nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. But let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So Yahweh scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because Yahweh did confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Yahweh scatter them abroad upon all the face of the earth. And that word Babel means confusion. Now, right there, it has verification. But Babylon. Babylon sounds like a Hebrew term that means confusion. So the Most High had it to where the people didn't come together because he didn't want them to come together. Why is that? Because he had a certain group of people that he wants to rule on the face of the earth. Okay? And that's his people, the Israelites. And what we see going on, we have the spiritual Babylon pushing that same doctrine of everyone coming together. There is no constraint in the imagination of the people, and it's causing what? Confusion. This is what the Most High was trying to prevent. Okay? So the Most High set up people that was near to him, holding unto him, and he set up people that weren't holding unto him. You see that? And Esau Edom knows this, and he tries to push himself as the chosen people with his pseudoscience. Is something that the elder Yahshua likes to go into often, and myself. It's one of my favorite topics. And the elder Malcolm of Chicago. Pseudoscience is basically false science. That word pseudo means false. Pseudoscience is synonymous with scientific racism. Scientific racism is the doctrine that states that, basically in a nutshell, the Edomites, the so-called white people, use certain false doctrines, false rhetorics under the banner of science to propagate themselves as the most civilized or evolved group of people. In fact, evolution is under that banner of scientific racism. Okay, evolution is inherently racist. And a lot of people don't realize that either. And so with that understanding, Esau Edom, not only he puts himself as if he's the top race of the world, but his standard of confusion is set in the world. That's why he's pushing the alphabet agenda on a broad scale throughout the world, and people who are on for that agenda, countries that are on for that agenda, case point Africa, they are ostracized. Okay, why is that? Because they're intolerant. Going back to what the paradox of tolerance. Okay, that we brought out earlier. That I brought out earlier. Okay, in order for you to be tolerant, you have to be intolerant to intolerance. You know what I'm saying? To what? To build the Neo Tower of Babel, that everybody is one. Okay. And again, this is something that the Most High did not want. Okay. So in order for them to, again, to push that ideology, they are going to have to get people like us out of the picture. We are not in the picture uh of the NWO. Okay. All right. So we are, again, a threat, and they're going to make great strides to get us out of this, get us out of the big picture. And they're already doing it by setting up certain false camps. They're paying off a lot of camps to teach a lot of BS. You know what I'm saying? And certain doctrines like that these camps are pushing, they're gonna get more and more uh, flagrant against these scriptures. Now the big thing is, you can sleep on the Sabbath, you can have sex on the Sabbath, you can hell exists, where you burn forever, and more things are going to be pushed in order for these people to follow under the banner of the NWO, man. Okay, and also the the unadulterated truth is going to be very hard to be seen in the near future, or to find in the near future, with us being censored on YouTube. And also, it's not going to be just YouTube. It's going to be other platforms too. But YouTube is the start. Okay, so we got to get ready for that famine of the word, which is a beautiful thing. Because when the famine of the word happens, then and persecution happens. That's when this place is about to go to really shit. We're seeing it now. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be a catalyst to all hell breaking loose. The famine of the word. Okay. Ezekiel 3:26. And I will make thy tongue to cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. So the Most High is getting ready to make us, basically disappear from the masses, from the availability of the masses, man. Why is that? Because these people aren't listening. And so that grace period is going to run out. With that grace period running out, then that means that guess what? That judgment's about to commence, man. And it's going to be a heavy judgment. We keep saying it's going to be like a time like no other. And really understanding that time period is something that's, very important for our walk, man, because we have families, we have children, things of that nature. So faith is the only thing that we have, really, is faith. Leaning on Yahweh by Shema Shah. I mean, there's certain things that we could do in the flesh, freaking, put some water up, things of that nature, canned goods up. But ain't no telling, where we're going to be at when, all hell break loose. What state of, economic state we're going to be in. There's so many factors. The underlying thing we want to have is this faith, which these people in the world, they lack. And also each other, having that supportive network with each other is going to be very, very important. Being brotherly is very important, man. Not getting caught up in emotions, being emotional, pointing out other people's faults and shit like that, man. That shit's not conducive to, the building of the temple, the spiritual temple, which is us. We the spiritual temple. So you know, being on point, individually speaking, is where it's at. Because if you're on point, then the body's gonna be on point. And these people, they're gonna be looking for us, but it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late for a lot of people who was, kind of playing with this truth, being like a day school with this truth, man. Especially when all hell break loose. So brothers out there that are kind of straggling the fence, that are kind of waiting to serve the Lord, you better get your shit together, man. I say that in all humility, I say that to galvanize you in the spirit, man. Don't be sensitive. Oh, your brother said you get your shit together. Nah, man. Hey, bro, your life is on the line, bro. Get your shit together, bro. Serve the Lord or not. For us that's in this truth, you know what we gotta do. Be do more, be more brotherly. You know what I'm saying? Fast more. We might need to put that bottle down. There's so much stuff we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? In the spirit to get us together and the water Yahweh by Shimi Awashai for giving us time to get it together. A lot of times we hastening in the way, hasten for the day of the Lord. But what the scriptures, what does it say in Amos 5th chapter? Woe to those that desire the day of the Lord, for what is it? What end is it for you? For you, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Now we say that for people in the church, 2/3 things of that nature. But we have to meditate that for ourselves because, a lot of times the apostle Tahar says that the elect has already been sealed. Maybe the Lord is having it to where the elect has to be convinced that they sealed by getting more serious with this truth. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I meditate on. So, just individually speaking, making strides to make sure I'm getting my shit together, man. And if all of us are doing that, the elect are doing that, man, you know what I'm saying? That's when the judgment is going to really commence. That's when we're going to get out of here. So we got to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, individually speaking, before we tell anybody to get it together. You know what I'm saying? But these people in this world, they're in for a rude awakening, especially for those who've heard this beautiful knowledge and yet decided to play with it, man. Okay? Because it's getting to the point to where, again, all hell is going to break loose. World War III is around the corner. Famine, you know what I'm saying? Economic woes. All these things are about to commence. It's not going to get any better. We know it. Okay? So now is the time to wake out of sleep. All right? Ezekiel 7:26. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the prophet, and the counsel from the ancients. That's right. So we'll get to the point to where we ain't gonna be out here giving visions and preaching them to the masses and things of that nature. It's gonna get to the point to where we're gonna be worried about ourselves. That where we're gonna have to make tough decisions about for ourselves. And again, that's when all hell is gonna break loose. There's gonna be a lot of people looking for that word, but guess what? They're not gonna be able to find it. All right. So, pray is edifying. Keep going, but I want to make sure that it's concise. You know what I'm saying? Giving all praise to my heavenly Father, name is Yahweh by Shemiel Shah by Shem Krokadash. Shalom.